Here's some more info on my most recent creation, the painted stilt hoof. Here's some of the info if you want to pause to read. But overall, I wanted it to be more of like a deer-like creature that you would see in the woods running around. So they would be in large herds, traveling through mushroom forest kind of situation. So lots of colors, so it doesn't really matter how bright they are. They blend in regardless because everything around them is so bright. And they also use it as a display. They're a lot bigger than a deer though, so they're really tall, and I'm going to attribute this to everything around them is also tall. They have to thrive in a world where all the plants are really high and take up a lot of sunlight, so they have this big head to catch a lot of the sunlight to heat them up during the day. Nice. The head also serves another purpose where it collects water because, you know, with a face like that, it's a little hard to drink without looking silly and not being able to see predators. I wanted them to catch water, you know, every morning when it's very dewy and mushy outside. They collect that water and it goes into these pore channels, and then they don't really have to drink using their mouths. Wow. So their ears have two functions. For communication and then, you know, hearing. So the communication part is they're completely separate from the head, and they travel in large herds. So the ones that are the leaders, they use the bright colors on the bottom of their fin to communicate with the rest of the herd, you know, what direction they're going in to stop, or if there's danger. A lot of animals use tails to communicate. That's kind of what they do with their ears. They also show off bright colors in their like little mating pose and stuff like that to show off like how pretty they are. And then their ears on the bottom so that they can just kind of like lift and twist however they want that little ear organ, and then they can hear really well in any direction. So they can hear if something's behind them, in front of them, next to them at all times. So in yellow, there's these channels of softer skin. So their skin is basically kind of a scaly, almost like a gecko-y vibe, but a little bit thicker, less delicate, but still very wrinkly and mushy. And on these yellow spots, it's very smooth and, you know, more like an organ skin. And they can flex all these channels to do different things. The first one is the horn, and they can flex that out for defense in like last resort situations. It's not exactly like a great weapon. It's definitely a last resort thing. So they can flex that out. They can flex their nose so that they can smell a little bit better. They have like a second smelly organ there, and it helps them figure out scents a little bit deeper than they would if they were just smelling with their main nose opening. They also have heat pits right below the eye because they're not really too good at seeing in the dark with their regular eyes, kind of like a lot of other prey animals. This allows them to have some kind of defense in the dark, even though it doesn't help them like see super well, but it kind of allows them to have some kind of initial defense. And then this is their display, and they mainly use it in their mating display. Back to that pose, I'd say they can use it for like a round of different communications, but I'd say it's mainly used to show off. So these guys eat a bunch of different things, but it's mainly plants and bugs. So their teeth in the back kind of crush, and then the rest of their teeth are used for crunching, biting, and pulling leaves off of twigs. And finally, the stompers. What gives them their name is they look like stilts, and it just kind of keeps them propped up. These are more so balancing, and then this is what they put all their weight on, is that main hoof. And these can split, so if they need a little bit more balance, they can do that. I do imagine that they can kind of grasp things, kind of. If they were to rear up like this, put one of their feet on a tree that's, I don't know, smaller, or like a branch, they can kind of wrap their toes around it to get a little bit of grip on it. So they don't have like a great grip, but they have great balance. Yeah, that's my creature. I'm happy with how he turned out, and I can't wait to do the next one.